A young man been in a small hospital's ward for weeks because of a serious illness. Around him were old men. The young man would often stare at them and wonder, will I also end up like this someday? Days passed, and the young man began to lose hope. But then one day, a doctor came to him and said, "You are getting better. If everything stays good, you can go home this evening." The young man smiled for the first time in days. He waited. By evening, he was finally discharged. He felt the fresh air after such a long time. It was the feeling of freedom. Later, he stopped near a small park not far from the hospital. He sat down on a bench, feeling thankful. Then, he saw a group of beggars sitting by the sidewalk. One of them had a bandage on his leg as he was injured, walking slowly with a crutch. Seeing them made the young man angry. He had just spent weeks on a hospital bed watching people struggle to stay alive, and now these people were sitting there, begging, when they could still move and live freely. Frustrated, he shouted at them, "Why are you begging? You can still move. You can walk. You can talk. Thank God that you're lucky you can still live outside." The beggars looked at him. They whispered to each other, "Why is he not minding his own business?" The man with the crutch said nothing and just stared at him. But the words, "You can still move, you can still live," stayed in his heart. That night, the man with the crutch kept thinking about what the young man had said. At first, it hurt him deeply, but later he realized the young man was right. The next morning, he went to a local community center that helped poor people find work. They gave him support to cure his injury. Later, he started cleaning floors. He earned a little money, enough to eat. He also began to study at night. He didn't stop. Years passed. He finally got a scholarship to study medicine. Many years later, the same young man, now older, suddenly collapsed while having breakfast. His family rushed him to the hospital. When he opened his eyes, he saw him lying on a hospital bed again. Then, a doctor entered the room. He said politely, "Don't worry, sir. You'll be fine." The man looked at him closely. Something about the doctor's face felt familiar. He whispered weakly, "I think I've seen you before." The doctor said, "Yes, you saw me years ago, outside this very hospital." The man's eyes widened in surprise. "You were the man with the crutch," he said. The doctor said, "Yes, that day your angry words changed my life. You told me I was lucky I wasn't stuck in a bed. I was hurt at first, but later I realized you were right. I could move, I could work, I could learn. So I did. I studied, I worked hard, and now I'm a doctor." And because of that one sentence, not just me, many others from my family and friends also changed their lives. We all found hope because of you. The man on the bed had tears in his eyes. "I was angry that day," he said softly. "I didn't mean to hurt you." The doctor replied, "Sometimes truth sounds harsh, but truth has power. Even angry words can light a fire in someone's heart." The man smiled weakly and said, "I guess we both learned something. Being in a bed is not the end. If we can move, we can live." The doctor said, "Exactly. As long as we're alive, we still have a chance." Comment as if you agree.